What's up? What's up? What's up? It's Nick.
And MD.
What's up, party people? What's up? So, MD is stretching me, y'all, because he making me learn how to do all of this social media stuff. Y'all know I'm not really good at that, right? And so I'm on live on my Insta. How cool is that?
That's right. That's right. There we go. There we go.
So welcome. He's live on his Instagram as well. You can catch us live right now on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. Convo Nick MD on all those 3 platforms. So we want you guys to engage with us, connect with us, comment, and we will do our bestest to interact with you while we're doing the show. And what you say to us, we actually respond while we're doing the show.
Yeah.
So, MD, what's up for today? What's going on?
Well, we've kind of taken this journey over the past few weeks talking about emotional intelligence and what it is and what it ain't and all that. And we got people reading books and
taking
tests
and taking tests.
Oh my goodness.
Well, which brings me to mind, because I didn't see anybody posting about our homework. Did you see anybody posting about our homework?
I did not.
Like, we actually had homework, y'all. So how many people took their emotional intelligence test? MD, you didn't do your homework.
Okay, so the part of my reasoning is I'm actually packing, getting ready to move. So
okay. I guess I give you a pass.
I've been a little busy.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess I give you a pass on that.
Thank you.
I guess I have to. I did mine.
Yes. Okay. All right. Woo-hoo.
I did mine last week when y'all told me to.
Yes.
Okay, so what I learned is that I'm highly emotional intelligent.
Oh.
What about you, Chance? Are you highly emotionally intelligent? You think so? Chance, you're going to have to do the homework too. You promise? All right, y'all, tonight we rolling with Chance and Gabe. So y'all need to interact with them too. No, for real. Like, y'all asked us about our producers. So tonight we have Chance and Gabe. And they joining us on this ride, and they will be commenting. So they get to interact with you guys too. MD, what else you got for us?
Well, let's kick it off again, just assuming that there may be a new person out there that just showed up at the party and wondering who are these people and what are they talking about and what the heck is going on. This is the virtual party of the century.
Okay.
That you get to come to on a nightly basis, Tuesday nights. Come see some friends. Yeah, see some friends, sit down and just have a conversation about some life things that you would typically talk about at a real party.
Yeah.
But we're just talking about it now. And I say, talk about it because we are expecting you all watching us live to be in the chat and having a conversation with us. Right now, y'all are kind of spectating and listening. That's cool. You're trying to figure it out, whatever. Get your drink, whatever you need to get, so that you can kind of open up and start talking, because we've been doing a whole lot of talking over these weeks, and we need to hear from you all as well. So, yeah, there we go.
Well, okay, family. So this week we are talking about emotional intelligence in the workplace. So the progression has been, we defined emotional intelligence the first week of February. The second week of February, we talked about emotional intelligence in our relationships. So this week, we're talking about emotional intelligence in the workplace. It all builds. So, MD, can you run that definition of emotional intelligence again?
Ooh, okay. Well, you know what? I didn't have that in my notes. I did have the definition for self-awareness.
Okay, let's talk about that.
I was going to start there. Okay. Self-awareness is your ability to accurately perceive your own emotions in the moment and understand your tendencies across situations. A high degree of self-awareness requires a willingness to tolerate the discomfort of focusing on feelings that may be negative.
Ooh. Wait, I think you need to read that one more time.
Okay, let's rewind it. Rewind. Self-awareness is your ability to accurately perceive your own emotions in the moment and understand your tendencies across situations. A high degree of self-awareness requires a willingness to tolerate the discomfort of focusing on feelings that may be negative.
Discomfort when we focus on feelings that may be negative.
Mm-hmm.
But only if you are self aware will you have that discomfort.
Yeah.
Oh, that's kind of deep.
To me, it's almost like if you were, for the very first time, getting ready to swim in a pool. Most times you kind of put your toe in, try to see how cold it is.
Mm-hmm.
And so the coldness is a lot of the baggage and the negative stuff that you have not touched or dealt with yet. But as you deal with that and touch it, it's not as cold as it was to the first touch. And then you go in a little bit deeper, and then you actually submerge yourself in the water after a while.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I agree with that. Because each time you do something, you're a little more aware.
Mm-hmm.
But self awareness to me requires reflection.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So every time I experience something, I then reflect on the experience, and that helps me become more self-aware because now I'm able to understand better my reaction to the situation, the experience, or how bad my reaction was to that situation or experience.
Yeah.
And then so the next time if something similar happens, I'm not as thrown off, and maybe I'm a little bit more polished to deal with it because it has happened, and the reflection allowed me to kind of prepare myself and get on a better playing field for things of that nature.
I would say the reverse is when you're really not aware. And again, we've talked about this over the weeks, but a lot of times you assume your thought and your reaction is always appropriate for the situation without even thinking about the emotion and kind of why it came up and, what's the story behind it or anything like that. And not even watching people's reaction to the way you've reacted to it. So it's like, why are y'all looking at me a certain way? This is the way I feel, and this is, all this type of thing. But the awareness is not only of your own emotions and kind of how you process it, but also watching how people reacting to it and how is it impacting them as well.
Okay, so if I'm not processing how they're reacting, what does that mean?
To put it probably in one term, which is not one I wanted to use so early, but I think it is kind of selfish because, again, you're not thinking about, it's almost like you're not thinking about the impact of a dagger in somebody's side.
Ooh.
It's very much that. You just kind of threw it out there and y'all kind of deal with it without any kind of thought about how it's delivered and how they're going to react to it or any kind of care in how you're really managing that relationship.
So then what I'm hearing is that even when we are becoming more self-aware, it is still very much an unselfish act because we still have to take in consideration how others are reacting to us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I think when we're talking about emotional intelligence, the biggest part of emotional intelligence is not just understanding your reaction and emotions, but it's in context to the environment and those around you as well. So when you're self-aware, all of it is kind of clicking together.
Yep.
And as we are becoming more self-aware, that helps us in the workplace because at work it is never just about us.
Oh my goodness. Oh my.
Like, it's never just about us.
Right.
Like, it's always about the organization, the supervisor, the team member. It is never about us.
Yeah.
And all of our actions impact the organization as a whole, the team as a whole, and our inability to be aware of that surrounding is why some of us don't move forward in the workplace.
Exactly. I kind of wanted to kick it off, and you're kind of pinging it just a little bit. I wanted to kick it off with everybody thinking of a job that I think just on the very high end, you have to really keep your emotions in check. So the first one I would put out just for you to think about is if you've ever watched a press briefing at the White House.
Yes.
And watching a press secretary.
Very even keel.
Very, very, very. So she's up on the podium. She's answering questions. She is defending the White House, explaining what's going on, telling you what you need to know and no more.
Yep.
And keeping all that under control, even when reporters are pushing back with really heavy questions and trying to get under her skin.
Right.
I've watched, different people in that position. I think the current one is doing she's doing a fabulous job.
Man, she is skilled.
Right.
Like, I admire her ability to just keep it together, especially given the current political climate.
Yes.
Like, she is just, to me, the epitome of being emotional intelligent in the workplace.
And think about that. That is every time she's on the podium.
Yes, every time. There is very consistent. She is not on one day and off the next day. She is on it every single day.
Yep. I couldn't open this without even bringing up another display of control of emotion.
Okay.
Certainly everybody that's been watching the show has been keeping up with Fannie Willis and saw the testimony.
Yep.
And saw how that woman walked in and literally controlled that room.
Yes, she controlled the entire room.
Yeah. Now, given she was upset, had every reason to be.
Had every reason to be upset.
Because everybody's in her personal business and it's all on display, and it may cost her being a part of the trial to really kind of put Donald Trump in his place. But as a lawyer, and really she sat down and she was like, I need these 3 documents in front of me. Yep. I need this, that, and the other. And it was like, just like clockwork.
Yep.
It was quite something to see.
But see, to me, that is a good indicator of somebody who has put in the work to develop herself and her skills to be emotionally intelligent. Because let's not forget, it really is a development moment.
Yes.
Like we said that the first week, it's a journey. It's not a sprint. And so we have to remember that as we go through this life, as we walk this journey, there are things that are going to happen that are going to test us. They're going to test our resolve. They're going to test our emotions. They're going to test our ability to handle those emotions.
Right.
So when I look at someone like her, who this is just crazy that we're even involved in a trial that even brought this mess up.
Right.
I don't even understand why this is a big issue.
Right.
But she is able to just, like you said, walk in the room, command attention, still not be rattled.
Right.
Because when people are attacking you and your personal, it's hard for you not to take that personally and be offended and just protect yourself by any means necessary.
Exactly. So it kind of gets back to what I was talking about last time, and I think really is kind of the thesis today. We're talking about, just in a general sense, trying to subdue your emotions while you get work done. And there's no way, because we're wired emotionally So there's going to be something about the work that's going to trigger us, that's going to move us one way or the other. And, how do people successfully manage that in a team full of people that are bringing their own various
Their
bags?
own bags.
And right. So it's almost like you're kind of managing the circus.
You managing the circus on top of the circus on top of you.
Exactly.
And that's a lesson that I've had to learn over the last, I'm going to say, 2 or 3 years, especially in my work environment. Because I'm good until you push me too far.
Yeah.
And I don't hide my emotions very well. No, I really don't.
Wow.
I do not hide my emotions very well. It is a skill that I am working on, and I get better with each experience. And I've also learned how to develop the poker face. So you're not rattling me, and even if you are rattling me, you will never know it. So I'm developing that poker face.
Yep.
And what I have determined is people don't like it when the poker face is actually working.
See?
Like
Right.
it's like, oh, well, what, you find that amusing? And I'm like, it's not that I find it amusing. What I find amusing is your reaction.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I mean, you're reacting to something that really doesn't require a reaction. You just gave me a piece of information, and my response to it is my response because I think in my mind I'm saying you full of shit.
Right.
But the reality is I can't tell that to the person who is responsible for my reviews or my, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So in my head, it's like, yeah, I find this amusing because this is BS.
Mm-hmm.
But the poker face is on. And so you trying to figure out why I'm not reacting. I'm not reacting because I have developed the emotional intelligence not to react to your foolishness.
Yeah.
But then that comes across to you as I'm being callous, I'm being nonchalant, no, I've just decided not to respond to your foolishness.
So you highlight, I think, what has been your own progression of the self-awareness and kind of figuring out who you are, where you are in certain situations, to be able to develop that all the way to relationship management.
Correct.
And how you deal with the people in your workplace. And I really want people to have that in mind because I think, people go through those types of challenges every single day.
Every day.
Not just doing your work, but dealing with people's stuff and their emotions. And if they're having a good day, a bad day, and it's going to pour out on you and, whatever the case may be. And you may find yourself playing unnecessary games.
Correct.
At the workplace.
Playing games at the workplace. And I'm not supposed to be there to play games. I'm supposed to be there to work. So why are you doing this? Because I'm supposed to be working.
Yes. Right.
I'm supposed to be working. Hey, gang.
Hey, how y'all doing?
Hey, what's up?
What's going on, bro? How y'all feeling?
We good.
Good. It's
But
good to see y'all.
You too. But no, I just think it's funny that, like, as you're developing, we talked about this before, people do not accept the new version that you're becoming.
Right. Right.
They are so used to the old version, they don't expect it, number one. Then they don't accept it.
Right.
And it's like, you ain't got to like me, but you got to respect me. And you just have to accept the person who I am at this point. Like, we all are supposed to be developing into better versions of ourselves.
Yeah.
So just like I don't treat you the same way, you shouldn't be treating me the same way, because I'm treating you based on how you're moving now, not how you moved in the past.
Right.
Yeah.
We're getting ready to take a break. I wanted to just mention this real quick. Those of you that have been reading the book, Emotional Intelligence 2.0, there is a chapter regarding an action plan. So we're getting close to kind of the end of the series. I hope that you have been reading and get to that point and have an action plan that takes you further in and prepares you to deal with any of the foolishness in your personal relationships, in your workplace situations, whatever the case may be. We want you to be stronger and better when this is all over.
That sounds like a homework.
It sounds like a homework.
I think that'll be our homework this week. So we'll post the details for you to develop your emotional intelligence action plan.
Yes.
So that's your homework this week, people.
Okay.
All right. While we're on break, get in the chat, everybody, and tell us a little bit of your horror stories from work.
Not your horror stories.
Well, I'm sure they're horror stories.
The horror story.
The horror story where that boss kind of flipped out on you. Tell us.
Ooh, I got several.
See. All right, let's go to break.
Let's go.
Hey, my baby, why you looking so down? Seems like you need loving. Baby, you need a girl like me around, my baby. Tell me why you cry. Here, take my hand and wipe those tears from your eyes. To you, can I talk to you? Comfort you. Oh, you know, just wanna let you know I care for you. Can I talk to you? I wanna talk, comfort you. Got to let you know, baby. You know I wanna let you know I care for you. Hey, sexy baby. Why'd your girl leave you in pain to let a fine man like you go? She must be insane. Hey, sexy baby. There's no need to worry. Oh, boy, if you call on me, I'll come in a hurry. Can I talk to you? Come on, comfort you. I love you. Oh, baby, I care. I love you, yes I do. To you, I wanna talk, comfort you. Give me a chance. You know, wanna let you know, gotta let you know that I love you. Yeah. Hold on, stay strong, stay strong. Press on for me, baby. Care for you. Hold on, stay strong, stay strong. Press on for me, baby. I talk to you. I wanna talk to you. I wanna hold you tight, baby.
Woo, Aaliyah.
Oh my God.
I'm just saying that song was fire.
Yeah.
I mean, We're back, y'all. If y'all don't know that,
Yeah.
we're back.
we are back. We are back. Yeah.
Oh, but I love that song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just a music buff, but
We was in here having a moment.
I was.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
It was.
One of my favorites from her.
Definitely. It's top 5.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What was your first one?
Oh, don't ask me that. I'm gonna have to say "Come Over,"
Okay.
just because I play that so much.
Okay.
Still, "Come Over" is probably top 1, and then it's a close second. If it's not one, it's close second to "At Your Best," even though
Okay.
that's a remake.
Okay.
But I
No,
like
but
her
she
version.
did good on her remix.
I like her version better.
Yes.
To be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That. Mm-hmm. Your favorite Aaliyah?
So I'm the church boy that didn't listen to a lot
Oh,
of Aaliyah.
Jesus Christ.
So
You wasn't sneaking and listening to
no,
it?
I wasn't.
So you was a good church kid.
Oh,
I was
God.
good. I was good.
Oh my goodness. Okay, well, Chance, do you have a favorite Aaliyah song?
I'm gonna be honest, I'm not that great with titles.
Okay, give me a lyric.
Oh, you put me on the spot right now.
Oh my.
1 in a Million.
Oh,
okay.
yeah, that's a good one too. That's
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
So mine is Rock the Boat. Only because. Only because you were on for that.
Wow.
No, but you'll understand why in a minute. Because my daddy and I were rolling in the car, and my daddy was singing "Rock the Boat."
What?
Larry McCoy, may he rest in peace. Player,
Wow.
Hey,
Sexy
let's play
Red.
music, though.
had a whole full out blown conversation with me about the meaning of "Rock the Boat," and that he loved Aaliyah. And I was like, you know what, Daddy? This is now my favorite Aaliyah song because I just had a moment with my dad
Yeah.
talking about music and Aaliyah because he and my mom always surrounded me with music.
Yeah.
So the fact that I could have that conversation with him, oh my God.
Wow.
So yeah, that's why it's my favorite. But I love the remake,
At Your Best.
At Your Best.
That first album to me, I mean, Back and Forth was on that first album. You got Age Ain't Nothing But a Number on
Yes.
the same album. Like,
Beast.
yeah, it's different. And then don't get to the second one with One in a
Exactly.
Million, 4-page letter.
Just
Oh my.
Like, I could go, I'm an Aaliyah fan for real.
no,
Like,
she was a beast.
Yeah, she was different.
She was a beast,
She
and
was
I.
different.
She was a beast.
Okay.
Okay, sorry.
All right.
Sorry.
All right.
All right. So back at the topic at hand, sir.
Yeah. Let us talk about the games people play at work to get ahead.
Man, listen. First of all, I don't understand people playing games because the lies and everything you tell to get ahead at work, it is going to come back to haunt you.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when you cashing checks that your butt can't handle.
Wow. Okay.
But I just don't understand playing those games because it never works out. Because you're not being your authentic self
Yeah.
and you're not being true to or you're probably being true to your fake ass nature. But it doesn't work out for you in the workplace for real because you are faking it.
Right.
So in my mind, the emotional intelligence is just weak because you think that the fakeness is gonna carry you through based on this game that you playing. Yeah,
The same representative we talked about in personal relationships.
shows up in your work relationships.
Right. Right. Yeah.
And oof,
Yeah.
Jesus.
Because that representative normally is in the suit and tie or in the 2 or 3 piece dress that wants the C-suite
Yes.
and is going to push people out of the way to get there.
And then when you get to the C-suite, you can't stay there because you were faking it.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't think that your ass gonna get caught.
Right.
But when everything start crumbling around you, then you trying to figure out, well, why? What did I do? Cause you being fake.
And why are people acting this way? Because I thought they liked me, and I thought they voted for me. And
Start with the man in the mirror.
right.
Michael Jackson said it
They ate the
best.
cookies that I brought to serve to everybody. I thought this was working.
I thought this was working for us.
Foolishness.
Foolish.
Right.
Foolish.
Foolishness.
Foolishness. I just I don't know why people even today think that that's gonna fly. Like, I don't understand what in your head turns on and you think that mess is gonna fly and keep you there.
Right. Here's something I certainly want to throw out on the table, and this probably is applicable to women and men. Why are people so catty at work?
So catty,
Yeah.
because they think they can be.
Wow.
They think they can be, and they think they can be catty to all the wrong people, and then when it blows up in their face, they looking like, but I didn't do anything.
Wow.
But it's because they think they can. Because people equate being at work with friendships.
Yeah.
I'm at work, like I said earlier. I'm not here to play games. I'm not here to be your friend. Now, if I develop friendships at work, cool. But my purpose to be at work is not to be your friend. My purpose is to get my job done so I can climb the corporate ladder and hopefully get some more money.
right.
It is not to be your friend. It is not to be your ace. It is not to be, but I am very happy if I can make friends at work. Like, I have some people on my team right now. Oh my God, I love them dearly.
Yeah.
Like, I am so glad the Lord put them on that team, put us together. Like, we cool. But we also cool on a personal level. That's the blessing and the bonus. That wasn't the focus.
Yeah.
I didn't say, oh, I hope the Lord lets us hire these people so I can have a group of friends at work.
Right.
My prayer has always been, please, Lord, surround me with people who make me better, who help me, achieve the goals we need to achieve. And if we develop a friendship, that's gold. But my prayer has always been about getting the work done,
Yeah.
not making a friend.
Right.
And so when people are catty, it's because they feel comfortable enough in that environment not to treat it like work.
Wow.
I see that point too. And I just want to add, like, I think a lot of that cattiness comes from the corporate structure. It comes from the way that corporations are structured. Everybody feels like in order to climb that ladder, you have to put somebody else down because there's only one position available.
Wow.
So it's that mentality of, if you get it, I can't get it. So let me be a distraction to you. Let me plant little seeds here and there just so that you know that I'm going for the same thing you're going for. That's how I look at it. I don't know.
Very much the crab mentality at work all the time.
Very much so. Yes, Miss Felicia, we agree that everybody on the job should take an emotional intelligence test and inventory before they get the job. That, I think, would allow people to be more aware of what environment they're in and what their response to that environment should be.
I tell you, I put something on my LinkedIn page. I was really hoping that an HR manager could be on tonight because I think a couple of things. One, they probably have a sense of a person's emotional intelligence level when they hire them and put them on a team.
Yep.
And if you think about an HR manager or any other leader that's there, is not only monitoring the objective performance results and things like that, but you're monitoring how the team interacts, together and how they work together. So again, you're looking at the practical results, and you're looking at the emotions too,
Yeah.
to make sure you can get the results done.
Well, and I think just to piggyback on that, I think when you're interviewing and you interview, it used to be you only interview with the person that's the manager.
Mm-hmm.
But now, if you guys have noticed, when you go on interviews, you not only interview with the hiring manager, but you
Team
interview
leads.
with the team leads or somebody that will be working with the position that you're being considered for.
Yeah.
And so I think, and then you also have HR, but you have HR twice. You have one before you get into the meat of the interviews, and then you have one after all the interviews are done. And like you said, I think that's so HR can get like kind of every version of you.
Right. Yep.
Like, how are they reacting with this level person? How are they reacting with this level person? Are they reacting the same way if it's the CEO or the chief legal officer? Or, I mean, because the last interview round that I went through, I interviewed with a team member that's not in the department that I was working in, but works with that department closely. So I interviewed with her. I interviewed with the chief legal person. I interviewed with the attorney that was over the department that I would have been in. So, but all of those were based so they could see how I, in my mind, react at any level.
Right.
Because part of emotional intelligence in the workplace is, can you be consistent with any level that we put you with?
Exactly. Exactly.
Not just can you be consistent in your job,
Yeah.
can you be consistent in your interactions regardless of the level?
And let's take it a step further. Companies are taking a look at a lot of social media pages before you get through the door
Yo.
to try to figure out who you are and how you're going to react once you bring you on the team. So again, people are aware now to kind of, make their pages private or kind of whatever they need to do to position themselves for positions.
Yeah.
But, just the fact that it feels a little intrusive, for them to be looking at my personal page, but not that I really have anything to hide. It's
Right.
just, this is who I am. So,
But they got to know who you are.
yeah.
And what is it? The remake of Sparkle. Remember when they went and Sister was hiding in the closet? They was all hiding in the closet, and he kept saying, "I needed to see you in the light of day," or I think that's what he said. "I need to see you in the light of day."
Yeah.
And the fact that they were hiding in the closet because she was beat up, bloody and black and bruised and high, and then they were trying to cover it up. But in his mind, he didn't want to bring on an act that wasn't going to be true to what their image is.
Right.
So he had to see them in the light of day. And I think when we get into interviewing and talking with different people during these interviews, that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to see who you are in the light of day. And let's not forget that when you presenting your representative, at some point, the representative has to leave.
Yeah.
At some point, the representative has to go. So you can't keep the representative forever. At some point, the truth is going to come out.
Here's something I just thought about. We had talked last time about, in personal relationships, about the representative and about having the trust in the other person, that if you did reveal who you are, that they could handle it, that it's not, going to be judged or anything like that. It's certainly not easy to have that same type of vulnerability in the workplace. Because again, you just never know who's watching and how they're going to use that just to get themselves ahead.
This is true.
Yeah.
Because I had a situation where I had a leader that I was reporting to who was very intuitive with the team. And, she cared very much about our feelings, how we were reacting to certain things, making sure that, we had work-life balance. And then when she departed, we didn't get the same. And so, you have to remember that based on who your leadership is, kind of also determines how you react in the environment.
Right.
And so, again, with developing the poker face, you have to kind of gauge that in response to what your leadership is.
Yeah. 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 As you're saying that, I just wonder, because a lot of times, and I'm thinking about the difference between leaders and managers. Managers. Ooh, that's probably a whole nother show.
That's a whole nother show.
But yeah, I think leaders are a bit more sensitive to really looking at people, looking at what they can produce, what they can become.
Strengths and weaknesses.
Yeah, and just really kind of working inside of their world. Managers kind of look at results only.
Yep.
And don't have that same type of sensitivity.
They don't.
And I think they, and I don't know if there are any managers logged on, but I think it's a damage to a person that's really trying to build their career and really trying to do well if you don't have that level of emotional intelligence and sensitivity to see past the numbers, past the paper, and see
Right.
the person and really try to develop them in their career.
But that just hits. But I no, it really does, because we had this conversation before. And part of the reason I don't just kind of move around in the workforce is because when you get used to someone who is good, you don't want to leave what's good.
Right. Right.
And when I say someone that's good, I mean when you've got leadership or management that is emotionally intelligent, functioning on a high level, can recognize that in everybody in the team, and has no problem developing everybody in the team based on where they are.
Right.
That's just a whole different ball game.
It is.
And those are environments where you see a lot of growth, a lot of innovation, a lot of employees really being empowered to be better versions of themselves in a corporate sense. And so it's just difficult to find an environment where that is cultivated.
Right.
And so for me, when I'm being interviewed, I'm also interviewing them, because I'm like, what kind of environment am I going to walk into?
Right. Right.
And I need an environment where I will continue to be able to grow and develop and become a better version of myself, especially in the emotional intelligence arena, because you have to be emotionally intelligent at all levels, not just personally, not just corporately, in all levels.
Yep.
Because the emotional intelligence gets us on a level playing field in life.
Exactly.
And so we can't continue to be siloed, if you know what I mean.
Right.
Like,
Right.
you have to grow and be better
Exactly.
across the board.
Yeah. I did actually kind of pull from that emotional intelligence definition, but I just pulled like the last half. Just to remind us, it spoke about managing behavior, navigating social complexities, and making personal decisions that achieve positive results. So I wanted to kind of put that back on the table as we're talking. Again, and that was from the very beginning, really
Right.
understanding the foundation, taking it through a personal relationship and how that is developed, trying to achieve positive results with somebody that you're very close to, intimate with, whatever the case may be. But then we, again, broaden the spectrum now to the people that you work with and interact with, outside of the home, and
Right.
being aware enough to manage that relationship in a good way.
But do we really want to manage those relationships? I'm gonna put my devil's advocate hat on.
Sure.
Because sometimes you're in a toxic work environment. Is it really worth it to manage it in that environment, especially if you're trying to leave?
Well, I'm about to say, if you're trying to leave it, that might be a whole different thing.
It's a totally different thing.
Right.
No,
Next
I'm
question is
just
gonna be like, how much they
saying,
paying?
Right.
Like-
and I was getting ready to hit
Yeah.
on that because there may be something that's going to keep you there for a minute. And if you got to stay there for a minute, you got to figure out,
You gotta figure out how to
you
make
know,
it work.
how to,
We'll sacrifice some of our own peace for $1, and that's a different conversation for another day. But
That's
we're
true.
willing to sacrifice a lot for that $1.
That's true.
And so if that money is right, you'll deal with some stuff that you typically wouldn't deal with.
Yeah.
So
I'm a witness.
yeah, I'm sure everybody
witness,
is.
yeah.
Everybody is, because that's a thing that we do. Money is the god of this earth. In terms of where we are right now in the world that we live in.
Right.
Yep.
So, everybody operates in hopes of reaching that $1
Yep.
in everything that we do. And it's sad.
It
is sad. And you got to really assess your morals in those situations and see what really matters to you outside of that. But that's a big piece to what we deal with.
Yeah. Absolutely.
That's deep. That's deep.
Wow. I wanted to mention this real quick as well, and we've kind of hit on it already. Think about the process of performance reviews, the engagement on team projects, the devastation of a layoff. How can you possibly subdue emotions in those situations?
It's very hard.
Yeah.
It really is. So I was working for a biotech company.
Yeah.
And my position was reorganized out of the department. Now,
Wow.
I was the only paralegal who was degreed. I was doing my work. I peeped what was going on, but I was just like, nah, surely they not gonna do that. Got into the meeting, was told that my position was reorganized out.
Wow.
And they had the nerve to say to me, well, didn't he talk to you about this in your review? I said no. Pull up the review. Was not written up. Was not downrated. Was not anything. So I was sitting there totally dumbfounded, like had no clue. And my response to them was, I turned to the quote unquote supervisor, because he didn't even come to the meeting to let me go. He sent somebody else, and she was brand new. And I looked at her and I was like, what the hell am I supposed to do now? Like, what do you do? Like, I've never been in that position before.
Right.
So I could have just been like, da, 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 but I didn't. I was still in shock. But the emotional intelligence part of me was like, Adrian, just chill out. Don't let it rattle you. So then it happened to me a second time. Different company. And that time, Adrian was not very emotionally intelligent. I told the HR director and the person I was reporting to, who was the CFO, I said, oh, it's mighty funny how you, Mr. CFO, have been here for 4 to 6 months. And you get to learn the company and the situation and everything. I've not even made 90 days, and you ready to get me out of here. And I was like, and I just had a meeting and found holes in all y'all contracts with your attorney. But I'm not qualified for this position.
Wow.
After I left a job and took this job. And then she was like, oh, and da-da-da-da-da. And they was just trying to say that. I was like, I'm not signing that. Run me my money. Because you're going to have to pay me to shut up this time.
Right.
Like,
Wow.
But the difference was the first situation, I had been working under someone who was very highly emotionally intelligent. So I got to develop that. In this second situation, they weren't emotionally intelligent at all, so they got about it, Adrian. So I think the environment, like Gabe said earlier, the environment and the organization and the leadership kind of dictates what level of emotional intelligence you get.
Right.
So those are my horror stories.
Wow.
Yeah. I had some too for sure. The most recent one was I was working at a healthcare company, and during COVID, so naturally everybody, it was a lot of restructuring going on during that time, and so I remember they had just sent us home from COVID because we were working in the office, and so they had just sent us home, and then I had been there about 2 months, I think, and then they get us all on a call. Our whole department is on a call, and they're like, "Yeah, we just wanted to let you guys know." First of all, let me frame this too, because they framed it like it was gonna be good news.
Right.
They was like, "Yeah, how's everybody doing on the call today? It's so nice to see everybody," and all this other stuff. She's like, "So yeah, we have some news," and so I hate corporate America, yo. I swear. I swear.
I'm sorry. My whole face changed when you said it like
She
that.
said, we have some news. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna be dissolving the whole position, and so now we'll be giving you guys a 2-week severance package. And then I started doing the math. I said, hold on.
2 weeks?
I said, nah. What I'm supposed to do? I gotta pay rent.
Right.
Like, what do you mean 2 weeks? And so
Right.
everybody was going crazy, and they was like, so if you have any further questions, you can reach out to me individually. And everybody just hung up.
Wow.
So we all got laid off with a 2-week severance package. And because we're at home, we didn't have a real, like, I couldn't have that
Right.
face-to-face moment.
Right.
So it was a lot. It was a crazy time.
That is. That's
yeah.
messed up.
Yeah, it was wild. It was wild. And so also that same supervisor who gave that announcement, we were in the same interview process for that very position that she gave that announcement in. I applied for that supervisor role and got to the second interview. Everybody was like, as far as I'm concerned, you got it. And then next thing I know, they make the announcement and she gets it.
Wow.
So
See, that's because they knew you wasn't gonna fake and shake with nobody,
I
and they
definitely
put
wasn't.
somebody in there that could fake and shake.
yeah, I definitely
They
wasn't
needed
about
somebody
fake
to
and
match
shit.
their emotional intelligence.
Absolutely. And that's the thing. Like, I can never be fake. I don't do the whole code switching thing.
Yeah.
I'm me in every room that
In
I go
every
to. So
room.
you gonna take me as I am, or you not gonna take me.
Right.
Right.
So I always talk how I talk. I'm gonna be who I am. So I don't
That's
at the
crazy.
end of the day, I can live with that personally, but I may not get certain opportunities because I'm not about to fake with y'all.
Right.
I'm not about to sit in here and just grin with y'all and act like everything's cool when it's not. Like,
Wow.
yeah.
That's crazy.
So
Wow. I wanted to share this stat, which I'm not sure. I don't know. It was in the book. I
Okay.
decided to pull it. Hopefully, there's some truth to it. 83% of people high in self-awareness are top performers at work. 2% of bottom performers are high in self-awareness. Let me read that again. 83% of people high in self-awareness are top performers at work. 2% of bottom performers are high in self-awareness.
We're going to let y'all marinate on that as we go to break. And then we're going to come back and talk about that.
Okay. Hey fam, this is MD coming to you towards the end of our emotional intelligence series. This would be addressing the fourth in the series. We've done one that talked about the foundation, just to understand some definition. We talked about emotional intelligence and personal relationships. And we also talked about emotional intelligence in the workplace as of this coming Tuesday. But then the following Tuesday on the 27th, we're going to do kind of a recap show to talk about everything that we've covered, and then also try to just dig into some questions that you may have. I'm excited to invite a friend of mine, Katrina Kirk-Franks, professional counselor in the Dallas area. That'll just help us kind of dig into this a little bit more. And just, again, from a counselor perspective, they certainly deal with people and, assessing emotions and things like that. So I think that may be a layer that we can appreciate, getting a little bit deeper into just kind of understanding what emotional intelligence is. That, in addition to whatever you may be researching, reading, conversations that you may be having, to kind of put it together for yourself. So again, looking forward to the 27th, which will be our final show on emotional intelligence with special guest Katrina Kirk-Franks. We would love for you to tune in either on the live show or just on the replay. Check out the replay on YouTube. Feel free to comment. Let us know what you think. Let us know about your experience. Let us know if it's even, something that you're interested in. We're trying to make sure that the programming we have is geared towards information that's interesting to you and hopefully some benefit that changes the conversation that you have later on down the line. Take care, and we will see you on the 27th.
So, 83% of high self-aware people are top performers.
Yes, at work.
At work. 2% of bottom performers are highly self-aware.
Yeah.
I think that makes sense to me.
Okay.
And I think it makes sense to me because if you are highly self-aware, that means you can function in the work environment with any person at any time consistently and actually perform to your capabilities based on whatever your performance is supposed to be.
Yeah.
But I think the reason it makes sense that it's only 2% of bottom performers is because you might have those bottom performers that are only performing under the radar because they're being lazy. But that doesn't mean that they're not self-aware.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Like, they want to be underachievers.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because less is expected of somebody who
Correct.
doesn't achieve. Once you reach a certain level of productivity in whatever field that you're in, they expect that of you.
They expect
that becomes
that.
an expectation, and so you'll burn yourself out trying to be that.
Exactly.
And that's a whole nother conversation.
That's a whole nother conversation.
Right.
But that's why that makes sense to me.
Okay. Okay.
What was your thought?
I was
Because
still
you
just.
looking at me like, no.
It just looked weird to me, and I was still kind of processing it. Yeah. That's all.
But it I think it's supposed to look weird because the reality of the situation is what Gabe just said. If I show you what I can do, you're going to expect that all the time.
Right.
But if I consistently fly under the radar, you're not going to expect a lot out of me.
And I think a lot of people in these corporate settings are just working a job, and it's not a real career or a passion for them.
Correct.
Right.
So you get into the cycle of just doing the bare minimum because that's what's required for you to get your check.
Correct.
It has nothing to do with this being something that you love to do.
Right.
The
Correct.
people in that higher percentage that are productive, they also probably love what they do.
Yep.
Like, they also probably value this company or value that specific situation enough to actually go hard every day and do it.
Right.
It's probably less to do about self-awareness than it is them really loving it.
Right.
So
Like, I mean, I was at a position, and I have always loved what I do for the most part. Like, love it. I love the legal part. I love contracts. I love, going through the details. I love looking at the big picture and how does what I do fit into the big picture of the organization. Like, I love doing that.
Yeah.
But I will tell you that when I started getting sick of a position or sick of like a employer, my mindset was, let me underperform because I'm not finna go all out because this is foolishness.
Right.
Now, was I self-aware? Yes. Was I still performing? Yes. But I was taking a step back because I was just like, I'm not gonna continue to give these people my all. Like, I'm not gonna keep overperforming. Like, I'm sick of y'all. I'm finna be out.
Ooh-wee.
But I think part of being self-aware is I know that if you push me to where I really need to leave, I'm just gonna do the bare minimum. I'm gonna still perform because you don't need to know I'm about to leave.
Right, exactly.
But I think that's where that comes from.
Wow. Okay.
What else you got over there, Maestro?
Well, I was going to make this one statement. We've talked a lot about different situations, and I didn't want people to somehow think that we're trying to say that you'll never have feelings about situations and things like that, because I've constantly said you're wired with emotion. So I didn't want that to be any kind of confusion. These series of shows have really been about how you manage them.
Yep.
It's really you knowing yourself, and again, from that point, how you manage it just in your personal situation and work situation. I think a lot of times, we've said it before, people are just not aware of themselves, and they kind of fly off the handle, and the emotions are just kind of out of control, and then kind of wonder why they get certain reactions the way they do. But I think it's just there's a more systematic way to go about it and to maintain relationships in a better way.
Yeah, in a better way. So Miss Felicia said they call that quiet quitting.
Quiet quitting.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
But going back to what you were just saying, I think what happened, you hold on, I just lost my train of thought in the middle of what I was going to say.
Oh, no. Quiet quitting. I was saying I'm not saying that you'll never have feelings about things.
That's it.
Okay.
So when you talk about not having feelings, I don't want anybody to walk away from this discussion or any discussion that we've had this month thinking you're not supposed to have feelings.
Right.
We are wired to feel. That is not our intention. Our intention, like you just said, is to give you some tools to be better at dealing with the feelings and the emotions that come up when we're going through these different pieces of the journey.
Right.
Whether it's personal or work or just general life. You have to be equipped to handle the situation.
And I think we've covered like major parts of life. Again, it kind of goes across the spectrum, but we just only talked about, again, major pieces and just bits and pieces of it. We really want you all as a community and as an empowered community to go read, to do the research, to go kind of seek out whatever help that you may need, and even the action plan that we've talked about, to have that in place so that you are doing the growing. We're kind of giving some tools and talking about it now, but it's really up to you. And this is the accountability piece that we talked about much earlier on, is for you all to take this and run with it, and again, to have different conversations than you've had the day before.
But that's still kind of a lot to chew.
Yeah.
It is, because as we go through this journey called life, it's just a lot to chew, because now I need to be not only self-aware, I need to be situationally aware. I need to be emotionally aware in order to make all of this emotional intelligence work together.
And then on top of that, you want people to be authentic. So I think that's the balance too, is when you go into the workplace, especially for Black people, we have a different experience.
Yes. We do.
We have a totally different experience in corporate than most other people do, because we can't show up all the time as ourselves.
Right.
Our culture is very boisterous, loud, turned up. We are who we are.
Yep.
And granted, everybody's not created equal, but I do think that we have a different experience whenever we go into these rooms.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
they're not going to always get it. They're not going to get our slang. They're not going to get our culture.
Yep.
And so sometimes we do have to, like I said earlier, code switch.
Yep.
I'm just not built like that.
It's funny you say that. So, one of my coworkers and I had a conversation about the difference between us and them. And whenever I walk into a room, people are always amazed. Number one, that I'm a woman, because Adrian is spelled the boys' way.
Oh, yeah,
My
yeah.
daddy didn't know the difference. He just thought it went well with Nicole. So the first objection I have to overcome is, oh, you're Ms. instead of Mr. But then if they're looking at my credentials, because I went to Hockaday, I went to Babson, I'm degreed.
Yeah.
We'll have another degree soon this summer. But when they're looking at my credentials, I can't be black because black people don't have all those credentials.
Wow.
Like, think about it.
Yep.
Bachelor's degree, associate's degree, and I'm listing them in order that I got them because, I got the associate's degree because I couldn't get a job as a paralegal because I didn't have a paralegal certificate. But I went that route after I had already graduated from college.
Okay.
So, bachelor's degree, associate's degree, master's degree, because I was trying to make some more money, and now a doctorate degree
Wow.
is coming
Yeah. Yeah.
by this summer. So excited.
Cool.
But I'm saying that to say, like you just said, it's a different experience. So then that's the other objection. This person can't be black. And then when you're met with me, it's, oh my God. So then in the workplace, I'm combating, I'm not male, I'm not Caucasian. And then I become, oh, she just a bitter black woman.
Wow.
Because I'm not just going to sit down and let you treat me any kind of way. So whenever I stand up for myself, I'm the bitter black woman or the angry black woman. Why do I have to be angry or bitter? Because I'm standing up for myself.
Wow.
But like you said, it's the different experience that we always have to put up with. So with this emotional intelligence piece, I have to learn as a black woman that is degreed, I will always have a different fight than everybody that I'm working with.
Right.
I will always be taken in another way. I will always be, low man on the totem pole because I'm black, I'm educated, and I'm a female. And that is not what they perceive us to be.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
So,
Whew. Okay. So I really cannot find a better way to end this segment.
Yeah, we just.
sorry.
No.
I'm just saying, like,
I mean, I started it, so.
but that's the
sorry.
reality.
But yeah, it's the truth. It
That's
really
the
is the
truth.
truth.
It's true. Yeah.
And we have a lot of stuff just on our day to day that most people wouldn't even know
Exactly.
about. Like, we have to swallow so much stuff. Like, we have to bury so much stuff. And then we still expected to show up emotionally intelligent.
Exactly.
Right.
Like,
Right.
that's honestly, it's a strength if you
It
choose
is.
to see it that way.
Exactly.
But it's all about your perspective.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah.
Gabe said it is all about your perspective.
Yes.
That is so true. But, I mean, again, that's just the hand that we're dealt.
Yeah. Agreed.
You got to learn how to move.
Gotta learn how to move.
You got to learn how to play the game.
Gotta learn how. Ooh, one of my friends, good friend, who is, when I look at like corporate, I think he has mastered being in corporate America, and I really do look up to him. He once told me, Adrian, you need to learn how to play chess
Yeah.
because this is a chess game. And I was like, what? I didn't understand it when he told me. That was like 10 years ago.
Right.
I didn't understand it then, but I understand it now. It is a chess game because it requires strategy. It requires emotional intelligence. It requires just knowing how to move
Tact.
with tact and in a timeful manner. So yeah.
Yeah.
It's, ooh, yeah.
So I know this is kind of a twisted homework assignment, but that might be learn how to play chess.
On top of developing your action plan.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So your homework, people, is develop your emotional intelligence action plan and learn how to play chess.
Yeah.
There it is.
Ain't that an interesting homework
It
assignment?
is. Because I've been putting that off for a minute. And I really do need to learn because I just, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Good session. Good session.
Good session. Good session. Thank you, Chance. Thank you, Gabe.
Absolutely.
Thank you, MD, for another good topic.
Oh my goodness. Oh my. This has been. I think this has been way more than I expected it would be.
But what did you think?
I don't know.
You
I just.
know how our conversations usually go, and this is just an extension of the conversations we normally have.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I guess you're
Like,
right.
I don't know why this surprises you.
I don't know either. I don't know.
Y'all do this, man. This is what y'all do.
Yeah.
What we do. We might talk about anything.
Right.
We
right.
already talked about Aaliyah.
Eh,
Well,
right.
we were going to talk about Aaliyah.
Yeah.
Right.
And while we talking about emotional intelligence.
Yeah. Didn't see that coming.
Well, you know what?
I know you.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
But
my.
just thank you for another good show.
Cool.
This
cool,
was a great topic.
cool.
And you guys hit us up because Miss Felicia been on fire in the comments. Thank you, Miss Felicia. And so just you guys, when you share this with your friends and you share this with other people, family, friends, whomever, really take thought and take sight of what we're trying to equip you for. Things are going to be moving differently going forward. Like, we can't keep doing the same things.
Right.
We have to learn how to play on the next playing field. So we just trying to equip y'all.
Cool. Cool.
All right, y'all ready to get out of here?
Let's be out.
All right, next week.
Next time, we are going to attempt to recap this series with a time for you to call in and submit questions, or you can enter those in the chat as well. We'll have a special guest, Katrina Kirk-Franks, who is a licensed counselor in the Dallas area. She'll help us to dissect what we've covered so far and make sense of it all. So join us on the live show next week, and even before then on our social pages. The replay of this show will be on Facebook and on our YouTube page. One final note, you may have seen either on my link tree or you may have seen it on Facebook. I've got a few book recommendations. I'll name one of them right now. Boundaries for Leaders by Henry Cloud, I think would be a good read for you. So check that out. Boundaries for Leaders by Henry Cloud. And then I'll put a few more out there just for you all to, those that love to read and want to get ahead can do so.
All right, y'all. Same that time, same that channel.
All right.
Peace.